audio, record on video. There is no stream, so let's get it started. In three, two, one, go.
The claws are out, the flasks are out, and who is put in the metal chair hot seat tonight? Real Housewives of Dallas is back. Stay tuned.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back, guys, to AfterBuzz TV. We are here tonight with the Real Housewives of Dallas Season 4 finale. We are breaking down the reunion shows tonight. I am your host, Suzi Grgurich, and we are here tonight with my wonderful co-hosts, Miss Erika Edwards and Joleen Lunzer. What's up? Welcome back, guys.
Oh my gosh, it's been so long.
It has been a while, and we're so excited tonight. We are just going to break down this season, each of the characters. We're also going to kind of talk again about a lot of news. There's some racism that we are seeing going through these episodes. And we also have our really great tweets, and they are amazing. People have a lot to say. But we are going to end with our own overall thoughts on how we thought this season kind of went down. So I think we just need to jump right off, and let's start out with Deandra. Let's talk about how we saw her character evolve this season. What did you guys think about kind of everything that she went through?
I feel like the reunion, we found Deandra had a glow up. You know, because this season was kind of messy, very drunk. She might be poor. She might not be poor. Her mom might hate her or might be competitive. Now we find out they're in love. She's making money with the business. We found out more about her husband at the reunion. Her dress was put down this season, and now she seems to be doing pretty well. Just the fact that she brought the business back, you guys, that's a big deal. Way to go, Deandra. Way to go.
Yay. Yay. I don't know. I mean, I think that she pulled it through. I think it was nice, kind of the way they rounded it out. It was interesting to find out that, I guess, Mama D didn't like the way she was portrayed this season, and so eventually ended up deciding to give Deandra the loan that she asked for. So that was kind of pretty cool to kind of find out that sort of in the ending. So I don't know. I mean, I think for the most part, she's pulled the business out of. I'm not really that convinced about the whole business thing. I'm glad she got the HSN thing and Dillard's. I want to see I feel like it's too soon to tell, really.
I'm going to go onto Dillard's website soon and see, because I'm like, oh, that's a great kind
Dillard's
of
is
good.
Dillard's
is big.
HSN is every housewife gets HSN.
Yeah.
You have, Shannon Bedore, Lisa Rinna. Like, if you're a housewife, you're going to get HSN.
Yeah, so I need to see a little bit more, but I mean, the doors are not closed, and she got the loan, and that's the main thing. And it was nice to see that she got that sort of respect from Jeremy, you know, that maybe he didn't have for her before. And they gave us a little bit more background as to why she won't tell him to just go get a job or whatever. And I don't know if I'm still all the way convinced on that, but I do appreciate that he has a Bronze Star, and, I do appreciate his service to our country.
Did they say he did 5?
Yeah, she did say he did 5
to
terms.
God, I had no idea about this.
We did learn a little bit more towards the end, which I thought was great. We also see that she is coming into some type of trust at some point.
When Mama D dies.
When Mama D dies. But I also still think that there is a little bit of beef between her and Leanne.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Always going to happen.
Like, I feel like, I think it was interesting that she kind of didn't seem very hopeful, and Leanne was like, oh yes, I always will have love for her, but it's like, yes, and you will always hold this grudge for her, so
they're never going to be friends again like they were, because the power structure has shifted, and it went back and forth this season where, Leanne was feeling herself and feeling her power, wasn't in Deandra's shadow, and then Leanne just really shit the bed, and now, or her dress, her HSN dress, whatever you call it, and then Deandra got her power back, so she's like, my checking account might be at 0, but at least I'm not racist. So,
and I do like that she apologized to Leanne on the whole fiasco of kind of making fun of the dress when they were in Thailand.
Yeah,
and so I think that there was a little bit of a good moment there. But then when we flipped to a character that kind of ended on a sad note, Brandi found out that they were going to adopt this next baby that and the woman lost the baby. So she was really upset about that, and we saw that she has a good bond with Stephanie still. So how do we kind of feel that Brandi was portrayed through this season?
I mean, I think this has been a better season for Brandi. I mean, it was mostly focusing on the difficulties she's had as a mom and with raising a daughter who's preteen but damn near teen now. And I think her relationship with Stephanie has just gotten stronger, and obviously her marriage and that is stronger. So I think it was a pretty good season for Brandi overall. I mean, she had her drunken Brandi moments, which we expect, but now her and Stephanie are out there living their best life, doing podcasts, but with a little bit of trouble we'll talk about later coming up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we really got as in depth with Brandi this season as we would have liked, or as I would have liked. I don't think we saw as much of her husband, for sure. He kind of was low key, which is probably good, because I think the times we've seen more of him, he's always come off like kind of abrasive, and it would have been interesting to see if he had some sort of interaction between her and Brooklyn, because it seemed like that is unresolved. So maybe we'll see more next season if she's able to kind of get that situation together. So I think we didn't actually see as much of her as I would have liked, or as much of what's really going on with her behind the scenes. We did see her sort of start to forge something a little bit with Leanne, even though it was interesting that she was the one who called Leanne out tonight. But she seemed to kind of, on occasion, either have Leanne's back or be trying to make up with Leanne or merge something there. So that was sort of interesting, I think, for her this season.
Right. And I definitely, going into Stephanie, I love seeing that they are best friends and they have such a great bond. But I kind of came to love Stephanie more this season, and especially the relationship that she has with her husband. I've really kind of started to love watching them kind of play out as a husband and wife team.
Yeah, I think her and Travis are coming off a lot better than maybe they have in the past seasons, in my opinion. So that is nice to see. And I agree with you. I also, in the earlier seasons of Dallas, I wasn't a huge Stephanie fan. I didn't get the hype. But now as I watch the show, I have a whole new appreciation for Stephanie, especially with what we've had to deal with this season.
And she's got a podcast.
Yeah,
so
she
we
has a
can all
podcast.
stay tuned to their podcast.
Well, I think she has a good heart, and that comes off.
I 100% agree, which I love.
Yeah, I think Stephanie is she is very sweet. I think what was interesting this season is we did get to see Travis, I think, show a little bit more sort of respect for Stephanie, and that's grown, I think, over the past several years. Because I think in the first season, when we first were introduced to Stephanie, she was sort of like asking his permission, and maybe he would let her plan the party. And now I think she is coming to their relationship more as a partner, and you're starting to see that he is sort of treating her with respect, but then also like he is and then I think we've got to see him also like with Deandra and other people in a way that give us more respect for him as well. And so I do feel like a lot of times I felt that Stephanie was kind of weak, to be honest, or kind of whatever, but I think that this season she's spent a lot more time talking about her depression and her suicide and other issues that kind of made her more vulnerable, and kind of understanding why she is so quick to kind of like always trying to make everybody else happy, and is that sort of person. And I think that took a lot of courage and strength on her part.
Yeah,
so
and
I
she
think she
became
came
so
out
much more relatable because of that.
Yes.
And I think it's a wonderful thing to actually see a housewives relationship. We've seen this on Jersey too, if you guys watch Jersey, but where you might not have had the best representation of your marriage on the show, and maybe they watch and they take notes and say, oh, I don't want to be that kind of husband. I feel like Travis might have done that. I'm sure there's some people who are skeptical thinking he just did it for TV, but it's nice to see that, because normally we just see they go on, they have a messed up marriage, and then they get a divorce.
Right.
So,
and I think again, related to her so much more, because she was a lot more vulnerable this season, and she was so genuine when she talked about her depression, and it's nice to have somebody come out and talk about that. But between Stephanie and Kameron, there was a lot of issues this season with the two of them, and I found it interesting on both reunion shows. Did you guys think that Kameron was a little quiet?
I thought Yes, and I also thought Kameron didn't make sense with her issues with Stephanie. Stephanie was saying throughout the show they're surface level friends. Kameron took that and projected her own insecurities into that by saying, "You're calling me stupid." Stephanie never called her stupid. She said she wanted to get to know her better. Surface level wasn't like your surface level brain, you're not smart. It was that we're not deep friends. We're just on that level. We're acquaintances. I'd like it to grow farther. But for some reason, Kameron just keeps coming for Stephanie, and I think it's because Stephanie seems to be the weakest of the group because she is the most vulnerable and opens up about that and does not like confrontation at all. That's the only thing I can think of why Kameron would do that, because it makes no sense that she tried to make the first part of the reunion all about, I felt like you were calling me stupid, and the crocodile tears. It was too much, Cam. It was too much.
And I think too with Kameron a little bit that kind of she portrayed in the reunion show as well is she does battle a little bit with this Dallas society. I mean, she called it out that she doesn't believe in it, but there is a society that she tried to put a good word in for Stephanie at the country club.
That was so crazy.
As much as I want to believe that Kameron doesn't want to put herself on this pedestal of Dallas society, she does fall into that. Mm-hmm. And so I think she kind of battles with trying to not expose that. But I think that she definitely wants to be a part of that society.
Oh, she loves that power, don't you think, Erika?
I mean, yeah, I think she says, like, that's just how it is or whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that to some extent, that's why Leanne is able to be like, oh, I'm worried about your reputation. And it's like a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it is important to Kameron. And I think more so than to Deandra or to Mama D or to any of some of the other people. And then even when we saw Cameron's mother-in-law, because I mean, at the end of the day, Kameron married into this family just like Mama D did. So that's not her heritage either. So you do have, I think, if you're, you do have a different sense of it, if it's something that you're doing to make sure that, you know, your husband's happy or whatever. And then even at, you know, the finale, her husband was like, okay. Her husband is very vocal about you can't be associated with certain sort of things. And I think that is because he is of that society.
And I do think coming back to Kameron throughout all of these episodes, I mean, I think people really learned to love her in Thailand because we saw this hilarious side of her with the whiteboard and, you know, taking the girls to see these like lady man shows. But I think those two episodes for me, I finally saw like a really funny, hilarious side of her. And I was like, I want to see more of Kameron in that light.
I agree. I think, we could still see more of that. And I think she, like Erika was saying, I think Leanne is able to manipulate her friendship by playing on that, I'm just worried about how you look. When really Leanne does not care how she looks. It's just a way to control her and pull her back to being her friend when she feels like she might be going to the dark side to everybody else. But I would like to see a little less society Kameron and I almost got you in my country club Kameron. And just a little, I get they're real housewives and she is a part of this family or whatever, but I would like to see a little more fun Kameron.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kameron, we did get to see a lot of her humorous side and, you know, and her, if you snooze, you lose, or I'm going to eat all the meals or whatever. Yeah. And I thought that was like hilarious. You know, but I don't feel like she really has her own voice. And I feel like she is so far kind of Team Leanne, and that seems to be like a losing team this season. So I don't know. I mean, I think it would be it was nicer to see her kind of start to have a friendship with Kary kind of on her own. Right. That was a nice feeler for her to put out there. Maybe if she continues, I think that would be good. But I think she needs to kind of like Stephanie. I mean, I think Stephanie at first, it was always Stephanie and Brandi. And I think we finally got to see Stephanie make friendships no matter what Brandi is doing, and I kind of want the same thing for Kameron. I think Kameron needs to get out of Leanne's shadow if she can.
I agree. I mean, and even at the end of the reunion show, she's still kind of defending Leanne a little bit and doesn't want to say
that she's racist.
Yeah, and so... Again, I think there's a side of Kameron that we saw this season that we kind of liked, pulling her out of her shell. But then again, we go back to that Kameron that's the society Kameron. So it will be interesting next season to see kind of where she goes with all of this and how she kind of reacts. But we also have a new character this season. Yeah. So we want to talk a little bit about Kary. I love Kary. I don't know why. I just thought she was so much fun. I thought she was such a great addition to the show. She's also a little bit spicy.
Yeah, I mean, she is. I like that about her. I agree with you.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
I
her.
really liked Kary because I felt like as a new housewife, she came in strong.
Yep, she
And
did.
that's the thing, because usually it takes housewives and, then especially if I think she already knew she wasn't going to like Leanne, so she kind of just committed to that and stuck with it.
Yeah,
So-
because wasn't she friends with the original
Yeah,
Kary?
that's what she
And
said.
so she came in with a bias.
So she came in with a bias, which was interesting because the original Kary is now friends with Leanne. So that doesn't make any sense really whatsoever. But that was kind of the argument she used in the beginning. And
also since Leanne came in with a bias against her.
yeah,
so, I mean, just biases all
so it was
around.
very interesting that she committed to that. She stuck with it. So she still doesn't like Leanne. And but she wasn't she wasn't at all fearful. And I think that was kind of a good move because it just made her seem like a good fit. And I think that is kind of the best way to secure your star.
Plus, I think it's always good in these Housewives franchises to see diversity. I feel like it's very segregated. Like, you just have women of color on Potomac. You just have women of color on Atlanta. And there are other cities in the country. Like, why can't New York have that? Like, why can't we saw it briefly on Beverly Hills? I mean, we're seeing it a little more on Beverly Hills, but I feel like that it's a good thing. And if you actually are from Texas or have family in Texas, like I have a lot of family in Brownsville and my family's Mexican. So it's like there's a lot of the population who's Hispanic, Mexican, so why can't that be represented? Why does that need its own show? And I think Bravo has done that with like Texas. They had this other show for a while that just was Latina women. And I like to see it kind of, I would like to see more diversity on this Texas show. That would be my hope for it. And I've seen a lot of hate towards Kary online, and I don't get it. I don't get why they don't like her. Probably they're very hardcore Leanne fans, I'm guessing. And so they didn't like that about her. But I agree with Erika, and I agree with you, Suzi. I think she came in really strong and was ready to be a housewife. And that's always a good thing.
Now, what do you guys think about her relationship with her husband? Because we briefly kind of saw her husband.
Not good.
and her children. She's got her kids as mom. We've kind of seen her as a mom. But, they definitely have a very different, type of lifestyle. So, I mean, her husband and her, it is interesting.
He needs to put her name on something. And they are married and together and quit with this weird financial thing.
I do like her jewelry, though.
Yeah. But how much is her jewelry going to get her if they separate? I mean, does she get anything if she's not on the house? Right. I mean, I guess I don't understand that. If they're married and they're happy, if you're married and you're happy, put your name on something.
Right. I mean, and I think, again, if, she's back next season, we might see more of her jewelry line. I mean, they tapped a little bit into that, so it'll be interesting to see, again, if that, gets pursued even further. But overall, I thought she was a really fun, great addition. Just, again, because she brought a little bit of drama, which we all like.
Yeah, well, she was able to stand up to one of, like, the alphas. I don't like to use that term, but being Leanne.
I mean, and we can't not talk about this season without just breaking down Leanne. I mean, I don't even have words to describe how this reunion went down. I mean, but it was a lot about Leanne, and even Andy Cohen had some interesting things to say to her and put her in her place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. I thought it was really interesting that she spent a lot of time sort of really deflecting and saying, it was because I was drunk or I didn't intend it or I this, and this. And, as she says, I'm not a bad person. I do bad things. And that's exactly what Dexter says.
Yeah,
it's
the
same thing.
defense.
It's like, that's what serial killers say. Really? So it's like, it was an interesting defense, and it seemed like she never took accountability at all. And it really, maybe up until like the fake tears at the end, did she really seem like, okay, now maybe I'm sorry? I don't know, 8 hours in, like how long were they taping this? So it was interesting to watch. I would have liked her to at least, by the time it's aired, by the time we've got to the reunion, make up something and apologize. Like, it's like, how long are you going to play like, oh, I was drunk, I didn't realize, or whatever. So it's interesting because I don't think she's learned from Vicky, from Nene. There are a lot of, from Lisa Vanderpump, there's a lot of these head housewives that are like kind of becoming friends of the show. So you need to get it together.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So.
Yeah, I don't think she took accountability at all. I thought the exact same thing. It was very fake. She was pushing out. Once she got that one tear out, she wanted everyone to see it like, look, I cried. It's like, no, Leanne. She needs to go to the roundup and have people teach her something. I can't with her because I watched her on Twitter after this all went down, and she still came for Kary, and she showed no accountability, and she doesn't realize that her words did come from a bigoted place, did come from a racist place, because she only used Kary's ethnicity and where she's from against her when she was mad at her. And she only did it behind her back, which is so cowardly. And if she just would have owned up and said, you know what, I didn't realize I had all these internal prejudices. I didn't realize I felt this way until my interaction with you, and I want to be a better person, and I'm sorry. And if she would have genuinely been sorry, but she's not. She's delusional.
And I think a very interesting part of all this is she got caught in some lies in the reunions. I mean, even when she was saying that the reason that she didn't have food is because she wanted the whole team, the production team, to be able to have the proper break. And Andy called her out on it. Andy's like, no, that's not true.
A 5-hour break, Leanne.
No, and he's like, we've had so many weddings on the Housewives, and this wasn't the case. And so, she keeps catching herself just not holding herself accountable for any of her actions. Yeah. And for me, I'm over it.
I know. She's like, I wasn't mentally there. Well, when are you mentally there? Only when you say good stuff? I mean, it's just like you were saying, it's a cop-out constantly. Yes. No accountability. And people, I would be surprised if they bring her back next season, because I thought, okay, we'll give her to the reunion, we'll see what she has to say. Like Kameron said, she's still human. Yes, we know, Cam, but you actually have to repent. You actually have to feel bad, but you don't. You just saw that Twitter came for you, and now her Twitter people taught her about racism, because in 52 years she didn't realize that saying these things is racist.
Right. Her, her Hispanic followers, they told her. But I will say this, I definitely think they're bringing her back, because, there's no show without her. There's no show without her. I mean, as much as I think she's racist, and I deplore kind of the way she acted this season, Kameron, she still has enough friends to tape. It's not like people aren't going to tape with her.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I would be surprised, because honestly, I feel like this season, we'll talk about overall season, but so I think they're bringing her back. They have to, really.
I'm just going to start going around and being like, I didn't really know what I said in the heat of the moment. Sure, that's a great, you know what? Hey.
I'm just going to be like, in my ignorance, I didn't know.
But then, I said that when Kary calls her stupid in Thailand, she's offended. But you just said you're stupid. You said you're ignorant. So you should be fine with anyone walking around being like, hey, Leanne, you're stupid. I am. I'm very stupid. I didn't know. Why?
I mean, but all in all, Leanne provided us with a very glorious season, because if it wasn't for her, there probably wouldn't have been as much drama. I mean, her wedding just provided us with a lot,
and her chest pounding,
of amazing.
What the heck?
But I mean, if we're going to talk about racism, I mean, a metal chair was brought out tonight by Brandi, so that will take us right into our news segment, because Brandi's not out of the clear either, right?
No. We have some very interesting news about Brandi. So it seems that Brandi is having to apologize for something she posted on Instagram about 3 years ago. And it was her doing what she considered to be a funny impression, making fun of Asians. You guys can check this out online if you want to search for it. I finally brought myself to watch the video. It's not funny. I can say I'm a stand-up comedian. Erika's a stand-up comedian. We know what's funny. We try stuff, it fails. But white ladies, as a white lady, making fun of another race and mimicking, whether it's their skin tone, the tone of their voice, their accent, not funny. It's just never going to be funny. You just can keep trying. Actually, don't keep trying. It's not funny. So if she first put it out, she defended it. And she said, oh, this is, it's funny. It doesn't hurt anybody. Well, it doesn't hurt you because you're speaking from a place of privilege. But when you're talking, you're putting down a whole other culture, talking about the shape of their eyes and things that are just blatantly racist. So now this video has resurfaced, and she is now apologizing and going back on her word. So I did find it a little dramatic at the reunion where she was like, Your racism. If it affected you that much, you would have confronted her right then and there.
Right.
Yes, and also, you
We got receipts.
You can't have one racist without the racist best friend. So Stephanie and her husband Travis are raising eyebrows with their megabucks donation, because we know they are worth millions. They donated to a politician known for anti-Muslim hate. So Stephanie Holman and her husband Travis donated $22,000 in August 2019 to Beth Van Duyne. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Duyne, whatever. She's racist. We don't need to pronounce her name up in here. And so, but basically, she had made headlines in 2015 after making some anti-Muslim sort of remarks about this 14-year-old Muslim in Texas. So it's interesting that although they have criticized Leanne so strongly, everybody has their own racist issues, and we can all grow as people because we're all humans, as Kameron would say.
Yep. Yes.
Birds of a
There's
racist
lot
feather
of
flock.
growing.
Well, did you see when Andy brought up at the reunion and he was like, "Well, there's one more thing," and I saw Stephanie and Brandi like, "Oh God, what is it?"
I know, right?
Bring it up.
We're racist too.
Okay, so next season they all hopefully can try a little harder and work on themselves before that happens. And speaking of that, I mean, there were some tweets out there during this reunion. Erika, what kind of fun tweets do we have?
All right.
Special segment.
Let's pull them up. Okay, so the first one is at Andy giving it to Leanne. I love it. Don't hold back.
Yes.
Yes. Andy made her have it. And then Andy hates Leanne, and I love that so much. This was like my heart. I was like, this is like Erika's. I could have tweeted this, Emilio. I'm there with you, bro. Okay. So this one was interesting. I'm sorry, but Steph saying Dallas Society BS is a load of crap. Did she not move into Highland Park, the epitome of said society? Aren't they part of a country club, the epitome of said society? Love her, but please own up to it.
True.
Interesting.
Lots.
And then this is the last one from Maria Terry. Leanne has no accountability for her actions. It was very wrong. I call myself old white lady all the time. If I offended you, it's not an apology. It's not the same, Leanne. You are not superior to anyone. And that's the thing I really felt strongly about that tweet that was so important was Leanne was like, if I offended you. That's like everybody's like escape route. Like if this hurts your feelings, I'm not saying what I said was wrong, but if you're hurt, that's bad. And that's not an apology.
No, they're putting it on you. It's your fault you're offended. And so I guess I'm sorry because you're so sensitive. And that's not how it is at all.
No.
Yes.
And I am going to miss our tweets because they're always on fire. But what are our overall thoughts of this season? Because, I mean, there's a lot that could be said.
I don't. Jeez. I mean, it was a season. And now with all this, I feel like it's just tainted the season, in my opinion. And knowing that that's how they really feel, it's like, just do what they're rumored to do with OC. Fire the whole damn lot of them, and let's start fresh.
Well, I will say this. I hated the racism, but it woke me up. So I will say that the season started off like I'm the only person that been here since the beginning. Here at AfterBuzz. So yeah, it started off a little dry. And but they pulled it out, and they did kind of make it interesting. And I think we saw more of Kameron. We saw Deandra kind of get her vibe, get it back together as well. We saw some more of Travis. So I do feel like it got more interesting and more real as the episodes progressed. So I like the way it came out, but it did honestly start a little boring to me.
Yeah, and we need the Mama D Deandra. We can't not give them credit for bringing some good entertainment this season.
Indeed.
Season progressed. It definitely
We didn't need
got
Leanne.
better.
We have just replace Leanne with Mama D.
But this reunion was like Andy. It was one of my favorites with him because
Yes.
I am ready for the next season. Obviously, I want to see if somebody new comes.
Next
in.
season, I predict Leanne claims reverse racism.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Next season, they'll have the one black person in Texas be a housewife. That'll be great.
Well, that is pretty much a wrap for Real Housewives of Dallas season 4. I am Suzi Grgurich. You can find me at Suzi G Styles. And where can we find you guys on social?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Joleen Lunzer.
All right, you guys, I am Erika Edwards. You can follow me on all of my social media at Erika, Erika, D as in Dora Edwards. Or you can catch me here Sunday nights on AfterBuzz for Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I love Atlanta.
And
All
guys,
right,
thank you so much. This season has been so wonderful. It kind of knocked us off our socks in the end, but we're so excited, and we will see you for Real Housewives of Dallas season 5. Peace out. Buzz you later.
Bye.
Ciao for now, folks.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.